Hello, fellow financial freedom fighters. And should you buy real estate with credit cards? Can you buy real estate with credit cards? It's a great question, isn't it? And you totally should and can buy real estate with credit cards. We just don't do it. How about paying your house off in half the time with a credit card? Come to that event. That'll blow your mind. What I want to share today, though, about credit cards is the misconception that credit cards are bad, work against us, or don't make us any money. Credit cards are exactly there to do that. They are funds to do deals, to fix our properties, to make convenience happen. And at the end of the day, use that capital to buy real estate or investments that pay more interest than what you're being charged. So let's take a look at what that looks like. Now, if you have bad credit, folks, reach out to me. I know where you can get free credit repair and start repairing that credit damage and or starting to learn how to build credit much faster. Because the misconception is that if you have $10,000 cash or you've got $10,000 on a credit card, let's say, and you lose them both, okay, which one is going to be harder to get back? The cash or the credit score? Right. It's the cash. You have to go out there and work and earn all those things. Compared to a credit card, we can repair and fix our credit score much faster if we know what we're doing. So let that be a great point of contention of why we use credit. By the way, if you're using a debit card for things, you are taking a very high risk of having everything stolen from you. Debit cards do not protect you against fraud or theft. Okay? Don't use debit cards. Use a credit card. Well, they charge them interest. We'll pay it off for the end of the month, right? A debit card is just pulling it right from your account. And when someone steals that, they can't fix that. They stole it directly from you. If you use a credit card, 95% of the time, they will correct that for you. So let's just take one credit card. And let's say it has a $20,000 limit. This is your emergency fund, right? How much is that $20,000 card? Now there's no balance on it. It's just $20,000 card. And it will say it's at 20% interest. How much is that 20 grand making you per month? If it's not making you any money, is it worth anything? Is it really have value if it's just sitting there? Oh, it's for when I need it. Okay, great. Do you think there's an investment out there that you could invest that into if you have the knowledge to get a great real estate deal? Maybe you only need to put 20 grand down. How much does it cost to start an Airbnb? How much does it cost to buy the rental down the street? Are they doing seller financing? Do you know how to get access to the 20 grand in cash? Do you know how credit card promotions work? See, if you call a credit card company and you ask them how credit works, the person that you're talking to doesn't know how credit works. That's why they work there. If they knew how credit worked really well, they probably wouldn't need a job. They'd go out and do investments, or they'd have plenty of capital on hand to do more. Now, I'm not saying no employee knows that. I'm saying they're not designed in explaining it to you. They're not there credit card companies are not there to teach you about credit and explain to you credit and make you successful with credit. That's not why they exist. They exist to lend you money, and if you make a mistake, they're going to make a bunch of money. So therefore, why don't we just learn to know what to do that's going to be most successful for us? Because if you have a great credit score and you know how to work credit, did you know you could have more, like, be conservative, $120,000 in lines of credit? Now, we're just talking about credit cards today, okay? So we're going to say this is 5, we'll make it more than that. We'll say this is 7 credit cards, okay? So 7 credit cards, okay, is what we have. So various balances. If you're part of our strategy team, basically the way that we work them, we want to get the highest balance on one card. That's some pretty good advice. If you get a high balance on one card, Lots of times the deal's better, easier to use. You can consolidate things, just a little bit more speedy and efficient. And usually if you know what you're doing, you're going to get really great deals from them. So if you have 7 cards for 120 grand, if you could put 10% down and buy an investment property, wouldn't that give you $1 million building? Whereas your 20 grand could still get you a $100,000 building. Now we're going to say the $100,000 building only produces $500 a month. Okay. And we're going to say that the $1 million building produces $5,000 a month. Okay. Over the course of a year, it's going to be 60 grand. Over the course of a year, it's $6,000. Are you looking at your credit cards like this? Gives you a little bit more motivation to understand credit cards, raise that capital, because we all run around. If you're working full time, you're like, Brandon, I don't have any extra money to invest. I don't know anybody to raise capital from, or I just don't have the money to invest, so I don't do it. I totally get it. We shouldn't be buying things that are bad investments. But if you know what you're doing, then all money's good. Any money's good. Whether it's private, whether it's personal, it doesn't have to be cash. It can be lines of credit. It could be a home equity line of credit. It could be a credit card. It could be a business loan. These things right here could just start generating revenue or get a hold of the great property. And then if you understand how to pay this off very quickly, pay it off, you could just repeat the process. So my question to you is, if you have a decent credit score right now, or a good credit score, why do you not have 100 grand in lines of credit? If you have a bad credit score, first of all, we need to fix that and start building so that you can get massive lines of credit. Why do you want massive lines of credit? Well, this is one reason. The second reason is going to be is that if you start a business, okay, and you have a personal business online, or you have rental properties, or you're a flipper, or anything like that, if you had either of these lines of credit, if an emergency happens, do you have access to money to protect your business? So I've met people that make a great amount of income. I'm like, how much do you have in credit cards? And they're like, oh, 10,000. Like, well, what if you need 100 grand? Oh, well, then I'll get a bank loan. Well, that process is like 60 days. A card you can get overnight. And then why don't you have it on hand? Because it doesn't cost you anything to have a credit card. You can have a credit card, 16%, 19%, 22%, doesn't matter if you're not using it. And when you do use it, if your investment is moving faster than that interest, and or you know how to pay off that card quickly, like we'll show you in our events, that's an advantage. You are now working all the assets around you rather than just ignoring it because you don't know how to wield that pen. In some cases, a sword, right? If you don't know how to use that sword, you're not going to use it. In this case, it's a pen. They're going to lend you X amount of money as long as you pay that bill off, in my opinion, pay it down and control that. You can make a lot of money from it. So folks, to buy investments with these, it's 100% possible. I've bought 2 apartment buildings with credit cards. Yep. Not difficult. It was simply understanding what the credit card company is asking of me, what they're offering me, and utilizing that into a great investment. Not buying stocks, not buying crypto, stuff like that. And once you understand that, then it opens the door for different types of lines of credit, whether it's personal, whether it's business, whether it's HELOCs, whether it's certain types of lending against your properties. It becomes a huge advantage and just another source that you are able to grow your business, grow more investments, grow your income. And most people don't look at it this way. Folks, if you want to change your credit situation and start doing business with just your credit cards, it's a great way to start. It was part of the way that I got started. Now I have some massive lines of credit today and just building from there. We're just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So please reach out to me, come to some events, come see some of these trainings and get started in this basic start of getting massive lines of credit. Folks, have a great day and get started investing. Thanks.